Hello, welcome to another review, CG Transformers Studio Series review, but this time, the one I promised. But before I start this review, I want to say thank you whoever watched my last review and upgrade kit with Optimus Prime. That's pretty good. Now this time we're doing the same with Grimlock. His parts are here, that only arrived today. But for now, let's review the original figure first before we fit the upgrade kit. Grimlock was the first. He appeared in the first live action film of Transformers Age of Extinction. The model was rubbish. You can't get a better Grimlock. I say they need to be a bit bigger. They need to be beyond bigger than Voyager class or Leader class. He's currently in Dino mode right now. That's what that kit is for Dino mode. For your first comparison, here is a Voyager class Megatron from the last night. Yeah, he still needs to be bigger. Here is Drift. They're accurate in vehicle mode, but when it comes into robot mode, it's not. Now for some studio series. Here's Soundwave from Dark of the Moon. Oh, this is the last night Drift, by the way. And here is Soundwave. And here is number 21, Starscream. There is Starscream. Unfortunately, I never owned the original, and I didn't like the last night version. But I can't be bothered to go and get Slug. But anyway, in Dino mode, he's got art. He has one. He's got a double knee, so that's 2, and then 3 in his feet. So he's got 3 different bits of articulation. Same with the feet. His little arms move. His jaw opens. There's not nothing at the back, unless you get the tail. Unless you get the upgrade kit, and it will contain more bits. Without further ado, let's transform this guy. First you want to straighten out his legs. First thing, you want to straighten out his legs. So you want to straighten out his legs. Put these in. What else do you want to do with me? You want to open that up. Do the same on the other side. Then freeze that bit up. How I do the head. And then in the meantime, he's going to get bigger because he's just sat there. You want to split his jaw. And you want to take his arm out. And then you want to do this, and then you want to move it in like that. Put his hand in. There we are. There's his left arm complete. His left arm is complete. Left arm in. Now you got to do this now. But before any of this happens, we've got to find a bit and we've got to rotate it. As this bit facing this bit, the back bit. Rotate. There we are. Unfortunately, my version of that clip is broken because I forced it. There's his head. So now pull this up. Up it goes. Yep, my bit tends to come off. It makes it easier for me to do his legs. This bit's always the hardest bit for me. The hardest bit is this bit. The hardest bit for me is putting his crutch together. That's the hardest part, is putting his linking crutch together. If it will help you open his legs up. Okay, we're in. There he is, he's in. There's his legs. I'm gonna have to put this thing. I'm gonna have to put his recovery cushion. I'm gonna move this around so I can attach this back on. So then I can attach this back on. So needs more of a knife. There we are. There we are. God damn it! Excuse me about this. Excuse me about this. But, God, get it. There we are. There we are. And then for his feet, you push the flap down on his feet. Turn. Same verse as you do as like at the first. And now you put this up. There we are. Now do his arm. Push that in. And there's his mace on. There we are. There's Grimlock in his robot mode. Forgot to push this all the way down. There is Grimlock. All in his robot mode. Oh, I forgot to put his back of his head back in. There we are. There is Grimlock in robot mode. So about that. He's still got the free articulation in the legs. He's got an ankle rotation. He's still got his rotation. And he's got a waist swivel with the additional. He's got the additional waist articulation for Grimlock. Now for comparison. Now for some mainline comparisons, there is the Deluxe Cars Drift, which still needs to be a bit small. Which he needs to be a bit bigger, or he needs to be smaller. I'll say that he needs to be bigger. And here is movie 5. Here's movie 5 megs. And here's movie 5 megs. I prefer the Voyager to the Leader class. And I'll compare them both together, as it's part of the same movie line. There we are, and now you see the difference. Now for Studio Series comparisons, there's Soundwave. Look how small Soundwave is compared to Grimlock. I know I should keep it on there for about a few seconds. I'll keep Soundwave in, and I'll bring in. I'll take Soundwave out for a minute, and here is Starscream. Here is Starscream. Starscream is a Voyager class. Here is Starscream. Now bring Soundwave back. Give that for a few seconds. There we are. Soundwave can go back over there because he's getting converted. He's staying in robot mode for now. And move Starscream. There we are. If you don't want the upgrade kit, now it comes to me. That brings me on to the next part of this next part of the video. Is where the upgrade kit comes in. Let's put Grimlock aside. So yes, this is DK-06 Studio Series Grimlock upgrade kit. Coming up there. There's what you get in the back. That's what it looks when it's all fitted, and that's some of the bits were featured in robot mode. And I do have the instructions here. This is going to be for the robot mode. Kind of got a rough idea. So anyway, without further ado, let us open the box. Let us open this precious box. Oh god, let's open the box and see what you get in the box. Of course, I've got the paperwork, which is AKD instructions. I have already had a look at this to know what I'm dealing with. Yeah, this little bag is the tongue, which is first. So this is all raw, by the way. So I need to get my skizzers. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that slightly off camera. I'm going to do it out slightly off camera so I can get the tongue out. It looks like the tongue's got a bit of articulation. I'll place all the pieces on the table. So there's his mace. Oh god, there's the bottom part of his staff. His tail has a bit of articulation. There's a part of the staff. Here, a new left hand, a new right arm, and some pieces and some stuff, and that is basically it for the kit. So let me just spread out the kit. You get tail, part of mace, arm, left hand, staff piece. Can't see the hand. My room, it's quite dark and it's like this during the day. So this is what you get in the kit. This is a new right arm for Grimlock, but with the new hand attached. So to prepare the right arm, I shall bring in Grimlock. So now I shall bring in Grimlock. So what I've got to do is I've got to take that mushroom peg out. I've got to take that mushroom peg out of his arm. Got to take that mushroom peg out of his arm. I've got to take the mushroom peg out of his arm. Ouch! Without attacking the camera in the process. And there's something else we need to take off of Grimlock. And we're going to need to take this off, because then that's what you take. This is what you're taking off Grimlock. So you don't need that from Grimlock. Now you fit the new friction thing into his new right arm, and then just move all the parts out of the way so I know what I'm working with. Oh god, don't point it at my calendar on the wall. Oh, and also there's another thing we can do while we got Grimlock in robot mode, is we can take his left hand off. See that little pushing peg? You can take his left hand off, because we won't be needing his left hand either. So we'll be taking his left hand off as well. We may as well do that while we're at it. We might as well take his left hand off while we're at it. Take his left hand off, because he's going to be getting a new one. He's going to be getting a new left hand, so we might as well fit his left hand, attach it onto the mushroom, attach it to the mushroom, attach it to the mushroom. Oh god, that is a snug. God, that is a snug. God, that is a snug. Gotta say, that is snug. And I put it back. There he is. There's Grimlock with his new left hand. So now I've got to put his new right arm in. Now I've got to put his new right arm in. Now I've got to put his new right arm in. That's a snug. That's a fit. There we are. So now Grimlock has his new right arms. He's got a new right arm and he's got his new left hand. New right arm, new left hand. There we are. So now you can give us a thumbs up. There's a hinge on that finger, and there's the other two fingers are together. There we go. There's his new arms. Now, what's the next part of the instructions? Might as well show off the weapons. Might as well show off his weapon. Might as well show off his weapon. Might as well show off the weapon. Put these two pieces together, according to the instructions. According to the instructions, anyway. I'll try and fit them in. Put this in. Till you hear a clank. And then you will have to split the mace. And then you just put this together. I think it wants you to put this and this together. So put these two pieces together, and it makes his mace. And there's his mace. There's his mace. Right. To get it in his maze, you see a latch on one of his. There should be a slit in one of his fingers. There should be a slit somewhere. There should be a little. There should actually be somewhere in his hand. There should be a slit somewhere, so that there should be a slit. I should be able to just fit this piece in. I'll figure it out in a minute. I just got to find the slit. There should be a slit in his right hand. Should be something in his right hand to place this. Should be a slit somewhere in his right hand. Unless it goes in sideways. Unless it goes in sideways. Unless it goes in sideways. Unless you have to put this in sideways. Unless you have to put this in sideways. So this is the best I'm going to do for his mace. So there's his mace. There's his mace for robot mode. And of course you can give him his chain. His chain. He's got his left hand, so you can probably give Grimlock his weapon. In the four fingers. Oh, I've just found the slit. It's in his finger. If you give him there, there should be. I found the slit. I know you won't be able to see it on camera, but I think I found the slit in his hand. So just bugger. Get it in. Got it in. So now you can have his mace. I know it's not the best way to do it, but you can. There it is. There's the next part of the kit. Let me do it better. Let me cut the camera. Before I mess about with the weapon, before I mess about with the weapon, you can still give him the old anchor ball arm. You just reattach this, and then you reattach it like that. Hopefully you should be able to reattach it to the figure. Should be able to reattach it. Should be able to reattach it with all the thumbs in position. You should be able to still be able to redo the ankle ball hand. So you can still do the anchor hand. The anchor hand. Just put this annoying peg in. Put the peg in. Put the peg into his right hand. There we are. There we are. So now you can do it. There we are. There's the peg. There's the peg. You can still do his wrecking ball arm. And the chain for the mace has all these hinges. You can do some cool poses with it. You can even do some cool stop motion. You can do some stop motion with it, which is quite cool. I do apologise for the noise in the background. There we are. That's got articulation. I'll faff around with it late. I'll faff around with it off camera. Let me just move these original pieces. These pieces, according to the instructions, you don't need them. I forgot to mention the colour is the same. Right. Now I'll quickly transform Grimlock in a second, because there's going to be storage for Dino mode and the tongue. I can do the tongue mode for the Dino mode, for the robot mode. So at the minute I have it in robot mode at the moment. So I have this in robot mode at the moment. So it's a perfect opportunity to know where the tongue's going for storage. Because for first editions you get a tongue for Grimlock, and it's got a bit of articulation. Right. To fit the tongue, where do I need it? No, where does the tongue need to be fitted? So I need to straighten it out. I need to straighten out the tongue, and I'm directly looking at the instructions of doing this, by the way. It's not like me looking at the instructions of fitting the tongue. So it's supposed to fit like that, I suppose, without it falling off. I think the tongue is supposed to go in that groove. I think, and then unless I put it in the wrong way round, as I put this thing in the wrong way round as normal, unless that is the right way round to put the tongue. Yeah, that is the right way to put the tongue. And then just fit. So for robot mode for the tongue, and then for robot mode, I'm not sure if I put the, I'm gonna faff around with the tongue off camera. You know where the tongue goes. Because of course, if it is a pre-order, as an order bonus, you get the tongue with Grimlock. You get the tongue. You probably will get the tongue with it. But I'm not gonna faff around with it. You know what I'm doing. I'm going to transform Grimlock, and I'm going to show off how these panels work for Dino mode. And then that's when I'll probably get better with the gun tongue. I'll see you in the jip. Okay, I have Grimlock in his position. Let's do the tail first. Let's do the tail first. Come to the back. You transform it the same way you transform it, but you turn his wrist. According to the instructions. You take his tail, and then you just. Hopefully it'll just sit. Hopefully it will just sit in there. There we are. So now until you hear a click, and there's his tail. There we are. So now you have a tail. Now for the new panels, which I need to re-put back in the tongue. Which I need to re-put back in. Oh god, the tongue's just come off the ball joiner. So now I've got to reinsert the tongue. I'm having a lot of trouble with the tongue. I'm having a lot of trouble with the tongue. Now, unless the tongue needs to go onto the other peg. Not unless it's one way. Has anybody had this trouble with the tongue? It just won't go in. It'll go in one side, but it won't go in the other. Has anybody else had that same trouble with the tongue? So now you just close his jaw up. Unless it goes in the other way. I'll faff around with the tongue off camera. I'll faff around with the tongue when I'm finished. Now you want these hands slightly open, as I've already done it. As you tell, I've already done it. As you can tell, I have already done it. I have already started that bit of the transformation for Grimlock's neck. You can tell I've already started transformation in his neck. You want to get these pieces. You want to open this out, and then you need to insert, and then you need to insert it. Don't know which way around you need to insert it. I don't know which way around you need to insert his neck. Until the square pegs. Oh god! Until the square pegs out on the other side. I know you can't see it. I'll point it with my finger. So it links with another square peg on that side of the neck. And if I can insert it, because this kit is hard. It's easier than Optimus's. It's tougher than Optimus's kit. Because Grimlock's Grimlock's you just got to take parts off. For Grimlock, you just got to take parts off. Let me try and do this off camera. Sorry about that struggle. Sorry about the struggle. I do apologise about the struggle. But we got it fitted. You see my light? We got the tongue fitted at last. Didn't read the instructions properly. And also, we got his side panels fitted. And we got his neck fitted as well. Which you have to connect the two square pegs together. And also, I fitted the tail. You saw that earlier, I did that earlier on in the video, is I fitted his tail. So now I can finish the necks. Now I can finish putting the jaw together. So now I can finish putting the jaw together. There we are. So now I can finish putting the jaw together. So now, if you look on the side, I know you won't be able to see it because the shadow. There we go. Grimlock has his tongue. So sorry about the struggle. As I say, I do apologise about the struggling. Now my Grimlock is going to be on, and this bit isn't in properly. Some of these pieces aren't in. There he is. Now there is Grimlock, and in his full upgrade kit, and full in his kit. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to show the tongue storage in robot mode, but I can do it in Dyno mode. I can do it in Dyno mode. So if you like this figure, I recommend getting it. If you want the upgrade kit, you get it off eBay. If you want the upgrade kit, you get the upgrade kit, which just give you a nice tail, new weapons, a new mace. Give you a new mace. It will give you a new mace, a staff. If you order the kit, you get the tongue. So if you like this figure, I recommend it. If you're a Dinobot fan, of course, particularly Grimlock. Particularly if you're a fan of Grimlock. If you like this video, please smash a like, subscribe if you haven't. Check out my other reviews, and when there's any request reviews you want me to do, I'll do them. I'll see you in the next video.